Hall of Famer and a 3-time Super Bowl champion. He is Michael Irvin here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Irv?
Richie, Rich, I'm doing well, Rich. Rich, and you're so right, Rich. That's the one great thing about having our locker room every Thursday and every Sunday night is, man, we do have a great deal of fun, man, and we really do love each other for real. We have a great group of guys, man. I can't wait for the season to get started.
We do. It's like riding a bike, slipping into an old shoe. We don't do a show together for weeks and weeks on end, and then it comes right back to us. It happens every year, Michael.
I wish people could sit here and just sit around, even between breaks and on the commercial breaks. I mean, and we carry the show into commercial breaks. You know, I mean, it's just the greatest thing in the world.
Well,
to have an ability to do it.
When you say we, you mean you, right, Michael? I mean, you're
the
one.
Oh, we. It's one or two things, Rich. It is me saying something, or you guys getting on me in the break.
Yes.
I will give it that way.
That's true.
So
More often than not, it's you carrying something into the break, and then we tell you at some point, we've been off the air for 90 seconds, Michael. Like save it for when we come back. We love it. It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
It is, buddy. It is a blessing. It really is.
I'm on the phone with Michael Irvin here on the Rich Eisen Show. Okay, let's talk about Dez tweeting out, basically saying on his babies he's holding out if there's no deal by tomorrow. What do you think of this, Michael?
I've been thinking so much on it, Rich, in a lot of different ways on this, because I think this is fascinating what we're seeing. And we're seeing a certain change here. First of all, I wouldn't doubt, and those guys are saying something to each other. When you start talking Dallas and Denver, and I wouldn't doubt if Atlanta is saying, please stick to your guns, because we got Julio Jones to deal with right after you guys deal with those two guys. You know what I mean? Because those are the three right here. When you're at Calvin Johnson, you start talking about those three guys, Dez, Demarius, and Julio. That's going to set the market for the next 7, 8 years, 10 years at wide receiver. That's why they're being so very careful with it right now and trying to make sure for both sides, the teams need to do what they need to do, but the players also are trying to get what they want to get.
Do you think Dez would really hold out like Emmett back in the day into the season?
At first I didn't think Dez would hold out, and I know he loves the game. I consider him a lot like me. It would have been one of the most difficult things in the world for me to do, to voluntarily miss a game, in a game that they were still going to pay me $1 million to play. I mean, they're going to make $13 million to play. So I think it would have been very difficult, very, very difficult to get theirs out. But here's what happened yesterday. The thing that's Dez's greatest asset that all the Cowboy fans love the most became a great liability to all the Cowboy fans, because he emotionally said, I'm putting this on my babies. And whenever you get a brother that starts saying they putting it on their babies, or they putting it on my mom, or putting this on my dad, or putting this on my mom's grave, oh, man, that means everything to him. And I'm telling you, Dez he'll make a point, even if he just has to make a point with sitting out. I do believe he will now.
Well, I mean, there's 24 hours in which to get something like this done, Irv, and for him to go ahead and say that, you have to believe him. The only issue is sort of what you touched on there, that the Cowboys, if they pay him like Calvin Johnson, that resets the market. It resets the market in a way that the rest of the league will have to deal with, and the same thing with the Denver Broncos. But that's already happened for quarterbacks, right? Kaepernick's reset the market, even with somebody like Ryan Tannehill in South Florida, who's never won a playoff game. He's getting that type of dollars, so why not for wide receivers?
Right, Rich,
Michael?
And this is the problem, Rich. Let's be real here, and I'm not talking any particular quarterback, but let's talk quarterbacks. We give quarterbacks $100 million contracts that probably have not earned those $100 million contracts, because even when a quarterback get a great receiver and he's an average quarterback, we give him so much credit that he still gets the $100 million quarterback. We got the Jay Cutlers, the Andy Daltons, and all of these guys that are getting, big contracts and haven't produced a lot of winning seasons, winning in the playoffs, as you said, as Andy Dalton case. Now, you come over to receivers. These guys are saying, wait a minute, we are difference makers. And Dez Bryant is a difference maker. Pay us as such. And I understand it. And let me tell you where the league has lost power. You remember the old days when I was holding out, Rich? The league would call them the ends and all of those, the information people of the world, and give them all information, and everybody write the articles on a slant for the team. And all the fans and everybody read the articles that's slanted for the team, so everybody is against you. Now with social media, the fans are stating what side they're on, and it gives the player some power. Now, I will give you this. This is the residual of what I said when they let DeMarco Murray go. How can you expect the fans to come down on Dez and say, come on, Dez, get with us, when they just watch you let the leading rusher walk out the door and not take care of him? You'll start now getting people saying, hey, man has to do what he has to do, because this is all stemming and coming from when you let somebody like that walk out the door. Everybody gets on cue and starts saying, okay, I got to give me. Now, if the situation wouldn't have happened, maybe you got to bury in with Dez. But it did happen, and now you got to fight.
I'm on the phone with Michael Irvin here on the Rich Eisen Show. But how much of this has to do with Dez's trustworthiness as a professional, Michael? Anything? You'll hear that, and absolutely they'll say, we want to be careful. We want language in the contract, and that's all fine and work, and that's all fine and dandy with what you want. But who has the leverage here? Who really has the leverage? You think you're going on that football field? Let's stop it. You think you're going on that football field without Dez Bryant? You think you're going on that football? And it sounds all good. I was reading the articles today, buddy. I read all the articles today about how great Terrence Williams doing, and Devin Street over there picking up Dez Bryant. They're doing great jobs. All that stuff is for Dez to read. And it's easy. It's easy to do great in minicamp. Where Dez's great emotional leadership comes in is when it's late in the season and everybody's tired. Now that emotional leadership becomes key to getting you through. Or we're down in training camp and everybody's tired. Now that emotional leadership becomes key to getting the team to where they need to go and preparing. This is what the Cowboys will miss. And I read all of that. I hope Terrence Williams is playing like he's playing, and I hope everybody's doing well. But if you think you see better than 8-8 without Dez Bryant, I'm telling you, you will not see better than 8-8 without 88. So then what happens? I mean, these parties intimately. You know Jerry Jones, what makes him tick. You know Dez Bryant, what makes him tick. What's going to happen over the next 24 hours, Michael?
Man, I'm hoping one way or the other that before that shoe falls off Cinderella, that something gets done. Now, that being said, if it doesn't get done, Dez is not going to miss the whole season. He's not going to do that. Now, he'll make his point maybe and he'll hold out a game to make his point and lose that, I don't know what everybody got, $800,000 right there. And $800,000 is a lot of money. You make $13 million a year, so you make about, eight a game or something like that. So $800,000 is a lot of money if we just pull it out. But not when it's on top of $13 million. You still got another $12 million to spend this year. I think Dez can make do $12 million if he spends this year. So he'll sit out, I believe, if he doesn't get it. But I don't think he'll sit out the year.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.